hold my beer.
A lot of the things that I do report on this channel actually are the facts. I'm Satan, basically. I understand that as a public figure, my job means that I will be criticized, and I am fine with that. Bull crap, okay? I don't care if you talk about me. I don't care if everyone talks about me. No. Talk about me. I talk about people all the time. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like what I do. You can monetize the hell out of me. I don't care. Talk about me. She's a nasty, vile human being that needs to be held accountable.
Hey guys, and welcome to Janet being Janet. Okay, so let me just say, first off, foremost, my youngest is in here with me. If you hear something in the background, it happens to be him. I told him to shh, but he's a kid. It's not going to happen, alright? He's going to do what he wants to do anyway, so y'all ignore him if you hear him. He's been playing a game and can't send him nowhere. I mean, he's stuck by my side for the next little bit, so we just got to put up with him. And that's you too, just so you know. Yeah, you got to put up with him too. So, I want to talk to you about a video where it talks about her getting struck again. I don't know. I don't know if she got struck again or not, guys. This is night, okay? This is night for me, and so I'm tired, but you know what? I'm still here. I'm still filming this, and I'm still doing this, okay? So, oh, and Pizza's supposed to be coming, so you may hear him, he may disappear. So if Cam shakes or anything like that, it's because of him. All right, getting all these out of the way, okay? Getting all my disclaimers out of the way. Let me just say this is my opinion, and only my opinion. And I'm going to do it the same way I normally do, okay? Like, get my hands down. All right, so I just heard the little snippet clip about being struck. And I was like, all right, let's do round 2. And let's get this started about whether or not Miss Katie got herself struck or not. Alright, we know she already did once. Let's see what this says, okay? So y'all, like I said, you hear her voice, you see her video, it don't matter none. It don't matter whatsoever at all. Because what really matters is that I'm in the background, and I'm the one talking, and I'm the one giving my opinion. So we don't worry about her now, do we? We don't worry about her. No, we don't. But let's just see what I'm going to get myself into tonight. Well, I am going to get myself into doing my nighttime routine, and y'all are just going to do it with me like always, all right? All right, let's go. Hey, you. Sorry, I gotta boss my computer around till it to wake up. It needs to wake up. I need to go to bed though. Alright, so let's do this. Complete transparency here, okay? So I was already listening to the beginning of this, and then I realized I'm letting her talk way too much, and she's gone. Start my channel. So we're having to restart this. Not you, me. I'm having to restart this to add a little bit more and not listen to so much. But yeah, sounds like the son don't like her. I'm evil. I got my devil horns on for a reason. I'm evil. All right, let's laugh at this.
Hey friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel.
First off, I'm not your friend. Haven't been your friend. Won't consider myself your friend. So, here's my question. If I'm not her friend, maybe she's talking to y'all. She's talking to y'all, ain't she? Don't you lie. She's talking to y'all. Y'all her friend. I ain't her friend. We all know why Janet ain't her friend. She's talking to y'all, okay? my little devilish side coming out, okay? I don't know. I don't know about this one. We're just both going to dive headfirst in and see what happens. My son's just like, Mom, are you okay? No, I'm not okay. Okay.
Well, I've been trying to talk about the Duggars, but apparently the U.S. Sun.
Apparently the U.S. Sun, as we know already, because I did the last video first, okay? I did because I'm all out of whack, but that's okay. So, as we already know, she got struck by the sun for the pictures that she wanted to use, right? And her stories that she wanted to use. Ha ha. Ha ha. So this one's gonna be interesting.
Does not want me to share photos that literally every content creator is posting.
Sounds a little bit like she's whining, don't it? Build a bridge, right? Were you ever told that when you were younger? Build a bridge.
And they are trying to continue to copyright strike or copyright take down my videos.
How mad do you think she is right now? How mad do you think she is in this video? Or in these words? Or whatever you might be listening to, watching, whatever the case may be. It don't matter to me. It never does. Y'all know that. Y'all go down there in that comment section. Y'all say whatever you want. And I'm just like, okay, don't bother me. That's what that's there for. That comment section is for whether you agree with me or you don't agree with me. Okay, it's fine. Alright, it's fine. Alright. I'm going to tell you I don't know probably 500 times because I don't know. Alright, we're just going to listen to this, okay, Janet? We're just going to listen to this and we're just going to put our insights into it, you know, just our opinions, not our insights. I ain't got no daggum insights. Let me tell you, all I know is how to run my mouth, alright? That's all I know. I can't help it. It's Janet being Janet. Okay. Let me say okay about 15 more times and see if it stays out of my vocabulary, right? Okay. You know when you get one word stuck in your vocabulary and no matter what you do, you keep saying it and you keep saying it and you keep saying it even though you're not supposed to or you don't like it yourself? Like. I enjoy doing those videos. All right, let's get back onto this. Woohoo! Bing bong! Y'all already know. Let me tell you, I already know. There goes the ball. Whoop!
Talking about Anna Duggar and being spotted out in public.
Leave that woman alone. Leave that woman alone. How about you go out in public? How about you do that? You go out in public and let's see if anybody takes a picture of you. How does that sound? Because you want to go after Miss Anna Duggar and what she looked like, right? You wanted to do videos on that. Well, it looks like you got yourself in a little bit of trouble for focusing so much on Miss Anna. Maybe you should have went another angle with that. Maybe you should have used a different tactic. But obviously the Sun ain't going to have it no more. Didn't I do a video? I think I did a video about the Sun saying no man. I guess doesn't work. You know, doesn't work on all kids. Works on some.
So if other content creators are having these type of requests by the Sun,
Nope. Nope. Not happening. Nope. Not me. Knock on wood. Nope. Not me. I'm good. I don't take their stories, though. My opinion.
you know, if you are one of them. I had been dealing with similar threats like this.
Let her know if you're one of them. Do you want to become one of her sources? Do you want to become one of her little minions? Do you want to become one of her contacts? Do you want to become any of that? If you're not familiar with Miss Katie, if you're not familiar with her, she likes to have her sources, have her friends, have her people, and whatever it is, but she will throw you under that struggle bus faster than ever if it's going to get her ahead. As long as she's going to stay out of trouble. Seems like she ain't out of trouble with the Sun, though, is she?
By Jim Bob and his people when it came to Jana's wedding. So I'm starting to feel like maybe...
Sorry, yep, paused it again. Was it... I have to remember, try to remember that correctly, but was it or was it not that she was airing something she shouldn't have been airing? She got invited through somebody else's link and she wasn't supposed to be, sharing that, but she was. I think I'm remembering correctly. I think that was whenever I first started, doing this and paying attention to her, which I don't pay attention to her as much as I should, I guess. But, yeah, I think that was one of the very first kind of things. I think it was somebody's wedding, I think, as a matter of fact. I don't know. But maybe Jana doesn't want her pictures all over your channel, okay? Maybe it's just that. Maybe she doesn't want to have any kind of ties to you, even if it is by name or if it is by one picture. Maybe she'll want it. Maybe, like I said, bridges.
The photographs that were taken of Anna were staged by Jim Bob.
You wonder why people, smack your hand whenever it comes to copying their content, like reading an article, or as you're doing currently, reading this gypsy's book, right, and giving your commentary on it. It's okay for you to give commentary, but it's not fair for others, right? And it's just like what the sun is teaching you. It's okay for others to use the content, others to use pictures, others to use their words. It's just not okay for you. Mm-hmm.
It's very strange. I have covered numerous stories about the Duggars. I have absolutely spoken about Anna. And
maybe all them stories you did about the Duggars, maybe they're tired of it. Maybe they are. Maybe they're just, and you say maybe, I say maybe. So let's just, give our opinion throughout this entire thing. But maybe, just maybe, they are tired of being on your channel. Tired of being your content. Maybe they are just overall tired of you. Because you like to say that you're, friends with so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. Just like Miss Amy. And long and behold, you weren't. In the end, now where are you? Where's your friendship at? Let's see. Don't mention her anymore now, do you?
Josh for years. And the way that the Sun has responded with the last 2 videos I've done has been...
The last 2 videos she's done? Wait a second. Were those the videos over what I've already done my video over? Or the 2 that she had to take down? Or which videos is she talking about? Just curious, isn't it? Just kind of funny iffy, ain't it?
Crazy. But...
Crazy. Maybe they're not the one that's crazy. Maybe it's... Nope. Not gonna say it. Gonna leave it alone. Now, my son's talking. He's talking. He's about to go out that door because he's hungry. So, me and you just gonna continue, and we're gonna let that little teenager who's taller than me, we're gonna let him eat, okay?
Josh Duggar is apparently being a horrible son.
A horrible son? You think that he's being a horrible son? Who's your contact? Who's your source?
And trying to manipulate his parents.
My camera battery is going to go dead before this child gets back in here with his pizza. I don't even know where he's going to eat it at, okay? And now we're not too far in for me to just stop and use my spray bottle that's not a spray bottle. We ain't going to have that conversation, okay? Me and you ain't going to have that conversation. We are going to wipe this all over using our makeup cloth. Okay, guys, he's back inside. Hold on. Okay, let's get back. Nosy child. I only talk about Katie Joy. Look, Katie Joy is how he knows her, okay? He doesn't know Miss KT yet. But he don't even know who all the faces are. What have I been doing? This boy watches my channel.
I don't really watch it. Should I start watching it from now on?
No, don't watch it. Don't watch it. Jordan watches it. I forget. Jordan's the one that critiques me, not him. Alright, he's going to sit right here next to me, and he's going to do his thing. I'll ignore him, because I do. Alright? I want to get back to talking about this, okay? And if he gives his commentary, y'all just ignore it. Alright, he's 15. Ignore it. He's a child. Ignore it. You can certainly hear his words. Trust me, that mouth runs just as much as mine. I wonder exactly who he got that one from, right? See, he's working. I'll be on camera. Because I don't want you on camera right now. How about that? Okay. Do you have conversations like that where they're just sounds? They're just sounds, yeah. Then that's the way our conversations go half the time. They're just sounds. No. You can have that one. Yay! Can I continue what I was doing?
Yes.
Okay. So let's do this. You try to manipulate your followers to believe exactly what you want them to believe. You, yourself, yourself have been described as manipulative very, very, very often. So, takes one to know one, right?
So
My son almost choked on it.
into giving him stuff. So Anna has been seen out. She's still wearing her wedding ring. Can't show you those photos.
What? What did you just say?
Just don't. Can't show you those photos. I wonder why. The son done told you no more than once. You gotta listen the first time, okay? I taught my kids, first time, it's all you need. Plus, eyebrow. Just raise your eyebrow just a little bit, and they know.
This is stuff there. Just shows up.
It's stuffed. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my ADD acts up by itself. It don't need him to act up. Okay.
Because the son will sue me if I do.
Aren't there...
Stop talking.
Okay, how many times has people tried to sue you? How many lawsuits are there? How do you get... Here's my question. Valid question. Okay, whoever wants to answer this. How does she keep getting out of her lawsuits? Because everybody sues her. You have to pay for your attorney, dude. But all these people end up,
Excuse me.
all these people end up suing her and getting her into a lawsuit. But all these people that are supposed to take her down don't seem to take her down. So obviously she's got a gift of the gab, or she's got something going on in her favor. People just don't want to admit that sometimes. I will, and I admit more than I should.
But it was Josh that was the topic over at InTouch.
You watching InTouch now? You gonna copy something of InTouch? Go ahead. See if they care, because I think they do. I think all of these news sources do care, and I think they're just not wanting you to use their hard work on your channel and to profit off of it. My opinion. It's just my opinion.
Now, interestingly, the Duggars have been having a lower profile.
They've had a lower profile for a reason. Maybe they don't want to talk about Josh so much, and maybe they don't want to give you anything to talk about whenever it comes to Josh. I don't personally myself know, but they're keeping a low profile maybe because they're not in the show. Maybe that's why. Maybe because they're tired of the drama. There's no telling why. But they're keeping a low profile, and you're having an issue with them keeping a low profile. What is it that you don't have an issue with, woman? What is it? You have an issue when they're walking around. You have an issue when they're staying at home. You have an issue whenever they're just talking to somebody. You have an issue if they don't follow something that you don't want them to follow. You have an issue when one of the Duggars speak out about somebody that you've already told them about and explained to them about. You have a problem. Does that remind you of a certain female? Does it? She was your friend, and she was a Duggar, right?
I rarely cover them here anymore because...
You rarely cover them anymore because they're not giving you anything to talk about. And whenever you are talking about them, it's usually from a source. Remember? You used to have a really good Duggar source. Not so much anymore, huh?
I am of the opinion that why should we give platforms to people that continue to defend what Josh...
Why do we give platforms to people that pretend
Why do we give
or defend? Exactly. Why is it that we give a platform to everybody that's able to get onto YouTube, onto wherever it is, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media it is? Why do we give them a platform? Why? Because it's fair. It's equal. It happens. Just like me. I have a platform just to run my mouth on, to be honest with you. That's the only reason why I got a platform.
They love it.
...has done and sweep it under the rug and act like it didn't happen.
Just like all these lawsuits.
You like to act like you didn't do anything wrong. You like to sweep it under the rug. Just say that you didn't do that. You didn't say this. You didn't say that. But then you have to say my opinion, right? Just like I have to say my opinion. Because you don't want any trouble, and neither do I, all right?
And ignore the blatant issues within the IBL.
is really about ignoring the issues of the IBLP. I think your issue right now is me. I think your issue right now is Sister Wives content is going to dry up just a little bit, right? And you thought Anna's whole story was going to give you the big break because you like to do that, right? And somebody stopped you. Somebody said, no, you ain't going to win this one. And the way she's not winning is getting a strike on her channel. Whenever you get a strike on your channel, you can no longer say that you're winning. And I speak from experience. I got a strike on my channel and I no longer say I'm winning. But guess what? In the real total reality of things, I never said I was winning. I'm just here running my mouth.
Pete, but a source spoke to InTouch about Josh.
A source, okay? A source. You think she's jealous because that ain't her source?
Oh.
Do you think she's a little jealous of that? Do you think that she didn't get the inside scoop? You think that bothers her just a little bit? Maybe just a little bit. Maybe people would rather go to a news source, an actual news source, and an actual reporter to sell their story. Or, to just give their story. I don't know. But you think it's kind of funny how you always have these sources in with the Duggars? You always have an in with them. This time you didn't, did you? You had to go and use somebody else's info.
Recently. So apparently the Sun saw photos of Josh and they took them from outside of his, walking around on the track.
This is something she likes to say, okay? There was photos taken of Josh that were taken outside, okay? They were taken outside of, I think it's the prison, I think. So they're taken outside, and how dare Josh? How dare a Duggar be outside? How dare them? Josh can't be outside. Anna can't be outside. Jana can't be at a wedding. What else can they not do? Last name Duggar. What does that mean to you? Content and cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. That's why I have an issue with Miss Katie. She's able to say what she wants to say on her platform. No one else can. And just like nobody else can be walking outside without her knowing it.
I can't show you them because, again, the Sun will sue me.
Again, the Sun will sue her.
How many times do you have to say that to get the point across? Dang.
She says that, she's saying that a lot because in my opinion, she has a little bit of animosity going on when it comes to all these other different creators. They're able to use the information. They're able to use pictures. They're able to use stories. They're able to use all of this because they haven't crapped on everybody that gets in their way. They haven't just said bye-bye to anybody and everybody that is going to benefit them. They haven't said that. They haven't done that. But I know somebody who has, just use your brain.
But if you were to look at the photos, apparently what he was wearing in those photos isn't standard run-of-the-mill.
You gonna talk about what that man was wearing while he was in prison?
That's the most stupidest thing I've ever heard.
That's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about his clothes.
Let's talk about how you look.
Okay. Sorry. He gets emotional sometimes. He's a teenager. But let's talk about how prison only gives you certain options, right? And maybe he was using the options, and maybe someone might be, giving him money to put on his books like most people do whenever they're in prison. They got money on their books. How dare a Duggar? And no, I'm not standing up for Josh, okay? This is just the bottom line of when you go after somebody and when you go after a certain story and when all this happens, you end up in situations like Miss Katie has, okay?
Garb that you would wear. I guess he had to special order these items and he was getting money from his parents.
Love you.
Oh, how dare he? How dare he get money from his parents? You need to go in that prison. You need to talk to all them people that's in there and say, you get money from your parents? Your parents sending you money? Your parents taking care of you? All that is you wanting to go after a Duggar. That's all that is. And like I said, to each and every single one of you, take the Duggars out of it. Just take the Duggars out of it and you can put yourself or friends, family, whatever in those situations. Make the story apply to you or somebody you know, and see if this doesn't get under your skin just a little bit. I could care less if it's a Duggars or not. I just don't think it's fair, some of the things she says and she does whenever it comes to people that are not Josh. But she likes to tie Josh to everybody. And with her tying Josh to absolutely everybody, then that makes a story for her. As long as you can say Josh, 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 Josh. That's all that matters, right? Look at her channel.
For this purpose. Now, Josh is a man that is very entitled. He is very arrogant, and he definitely believes that he knows better than everyone.
Does that sound like anybody we know? Is there anyone that thinks she's entitled to every source? Every story, every break, I'm a little bit entitled to that. Is there somebody we both know that happens to be a topic on my channel? I don't know. Let's think long and hard, right? No, didn't take that long, did it?
And so I can definitely see him using whatever he has to do whatever he can to get.
He can use whatever he has to do whatever he can. Why is this woman always just sitting here describing herself? And she is saying all these little things when it really pertains to her. Why? Telling on yourself just a little bit? Maybe just a little bit. Using a Duggar to tell on you. How dare you? Huh? I can compare her to a Duggar now. That just now clicked in my head. Yes, I'm a little slow, but that just now clicked in my head. I can compare her to a sister wife. I can compare her to Josh. Sorry, here we go.
Whatever he wants. And apparently, this is what InTouch says.
Ooh, we need to make sure that we credit the people that we need to credit, right? You don't want to be in trouble for not crediting exactly where the story come from, where the pictures come from. You want to make sure that you get all that correct, because if you don't, you know what ends up happening? I don't know. Why don't you ask her and what's going on with the channel right now, and you know, the little whole thing of lawsuits? My opinion, and only my opinion. I'm just saying, pose that question to Miss Katie, okay?
The most recent appearance of the convicted SO when the prison photos leaked, the
prison photos leaked. Can I ask you a question? Just everybody, anybody, whoever it is. When they leaked, could it be that anybody could have taken those photos? Not just about it being leaked. Maybe, just maybe, they knew something like that was going to come out. Who knows? Maybe he posed for it. Who knows? All it is to you, though, is a story. But you have to credit InTouch for that.
19 Kids and Counting star can be seen parading around prison sporting some designer swag.
Hey, where's pictures? Where's pictures? Do we have to believe what she says? Or do we believe our eyes? Where's pictures, right? That's what I want to see. We all know, right?
And a source exclusively reveals to InTouch that the only reason he can afford it.
A source. Don't you love it? How she uses those words all the time. No matter what this... I forgot my eye cream because I'm talking too much. But don't you love it how that's like her favorite word, in my opinion, is mine. But a source is like something she likes to say. Doesn't matter if it's her source, your source, who cares, right? As long as it's a source. It just isn't hers this time.
Is because he's been pestering his already cash-strapped parents for money.
Okay, so the source knows that he's pestering his parents. I pester my parents. Yeah, I used to. I need to correct that. I used to pester my parents like my kids pester me. It's a rite of passage. I mean, they're still your kid.
And manipulating them from behind bars to giving
money and manipulation. You know what? I have a mirror in front of me. Do I need to share it? Do I need to share my mirror? Question.
Him cash to special order items in the slammer.
In the slammer. Does she know this for a fact? Does she know it for a fact, or is she taking somebody else's word at it? You see the pictures? Yeah, I don't see the pictures. So, how would I know what Josh looks like? How do I know what he's wearing? How do I know any of this? Question.
Now, are we being a little bit exaggerating that the Duggars are cash strapped?
Hey, aren't you the authority on everything Duggar and everything Sister Wife? So why don't you tell us? Oh yeah, kinda can't. Huh, can you? Not with pictures at least.
I mean, this is a family that owns considerable assets.
Why you always digging in their pockets? Just wondering, why is it always gotta be about money? You need to focus on your own self a lot of times. Any person needs to focus on their own self a lot of times. They don't need to be worrying about what's going on with another. Just what I was taught.
They have tons of property that they own all over Springdale, Fayetteville.
Hey, guess what? They have a lot of assets. They got property. What's the big deal? I don't know. Let's see if she tells us what the big deal is about owning property.
Tawnytown, they have numerous businesses. They have...
Okay, yes, I'm pausing this a lot because I don't want another strike, alright? You know what? They have a lot. They were on a TV show. Before they were on a TV show, didn't they have a lot of kids? Miss Thing here is going to tell us what we should know and what we shouldn't know. And if she gets to the Josh, she gets to that, I'm going to do like I normally do. Split, splat, splat. I'm going to just put it in there and I'm going to say, Josh.
Rental properties where Jim Bob is a rental, like commercial rental properties where different...
Commercial, rental, residential, what is it? Don't you love it when she gets tongue-tied? She's not even on camera like I am. She doesn't edit it. Nothing. She's just, let me say the facts and hopefully you won't catch me. Right? Her editing sometimes, she just don't want to do it.
Stores use their buildings. He has numerous businesses and airplanes and all of this stuff. A huge house.
Hey, in short of it, Jim Bob has a lot of stuff. He's got a lot of stuff that involves money. Short of it.
And I'm trying to figure out how he's cash strapped.
How do you know he's cash strapped? How do you know that for a fact? You're trying to figure that out, right? Maybe, maybe you should go to one of your Duggar sources. And why don't you figure that out before you come and put a video out saying that, I don't know. When I don't know, I tell you. Just like the beginning of this video. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm just having time to sit down and time to talk to y'all. So, it has to be my night routine. It has to be my night routine. Either way it goes. My son has to be here. My son has to be here. I'm just finding time.
Because the only thing that's changed is that they don't have the show. But he still has money, right?
Hey, we all know he ain't got a show. But anybody with any common sense, if they had a television show and they had any kind of financial gain whatsoever at all, they would try to keep it. My opinion.
I mean, I think it was earlier this year, he sold a piece of property for about $2 or $3 million.
Hey, he sold property. How dare him? Oh my goodness gracious, how dare him? He sold property. Are you supposed to keep it all your life? I guess. I don't know. I don't own property. Somebody else owns property. I don't own property.
Is it that Jim Bob is being very frugal? Or is it that the legal bills are finally catching up with them?
Weren't the Duggars frugal before the show? Weren't they? Didn't they, even on the show, they showed where they go to secondhand stores and stuff? I thought I remembered that correctly. And before anybody digs into me and says, oh, you own property. I'm sorry, when a bank has it and you pay the bank, you don't own nothing because that bank can take it. That's just the way I see things.
I don't know. And if you know anything about the Duggars, Jim Bob has bailed out Josh more times than I can count.
That's funny. That's funny. More times than you can count. Go back on your videos. You've been covering them for how many years? I can even go back through my videos and sometimes, be like, hey, I remember that. But you're all things Duggar, aren't you?
He has tried to cover up what Josh has done. He didn't go to the police right away when Josh did things to his sisters. He spent years trying to cover up the atrocities Josh committed against his own family members and other women or young girls. And when it came to this case, he even...
Josh is a financial drain. Jim Bob covered for Josh. Josh did a crime. Josh. Don't you ever get tired of hearing that name sometimes coming out of your own mouth? I get tired of it.
And tried to mislead the public into believing that there was no investigation, that there was no target of the investigation, and that no one in his family was a target of either FBI or Department of Homeland Security.
Josh being a target. I chop these little things up because I don't want, Josh being a target. And he's trying to hide things. Aren't you kind of getting yourself in trouble now? Aren't you? Are you going to say you're the target of all of that? Don't play a sympathy bone, because they're trying to play. They're called words. They're supposed to come out of your mouth, but sometimes mine get tied and lost. Don't try to play that sympathy path to anybody else. You can after this.
Investigation. And throughout all of this, he has had numerous children come out forward and say that they grew up in a cult-like mindset in their house, allegedly. Jill has talked about it, Derek, even Austin.
Cult. Allegedly cult. Jill talked about the cult. Sorry. C-U-L-T. Cult. I don't know how to say it. Cult. That's a word I can't say over and over. Cult. Y'all try saying it over and over. Then you're telling me how you do.
Or even Joanna and Austin have spoken out. They did a podcast and shared how they grew up and the differences that they have in how they feel today versus how they grew up.
Kids grew up. They grew up. And how they feel today, they grew up. They can tell you how they feel. Main thing is, they grew up.
Clearly appears to be some sort of divide continuing to happen in this family, but
there's a divide happening within the Duggars. Isn't that what most people want? Don't most people want him not to be supported? There are two sides of a family. There are two sides of a story, right? But I continue.
Even though he has, defended Josh and done all of these things to protect Josh and done this at the detriment of his daughters, apparently now Josh is still manipulating his parents. The question here is that, are his parents being manipulated?
He's manipulating his parents, but are his parents being manipulated? And how can you do one then ask a question? I don't know. You tell me.
or are whoever the source is.
Whoever this source is. You know, if you get in enough trouble, you give up your sources, don't you? Save yourself, not the others.
Trying to make it seem like Jim Bob and Michelle are the victims of Josh, and that Josh is now the person that is the culprit of all of this, that Jim Bob is not the person that they have portrayed him to be, and that it's Josh. Josh is the problem.
Jim Bob? Jim's not the person they portray him to be. Josh. Josh is the culprit. Duh.
Isn't it that both can be true? We're not saying that Jim Bob has committed the crimes that Josh has committed.
Woman, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Because I don't want to end up sued. I keep my mouth shut. Yep.
But cannot both be true, that what his daughters have said and what Jill wrote about in her book aren't also valid about...
Aren't you upset with Jill? Aren't you? I think you're upset with Jill because you saw her in a photo with her dad. I'm pretty sure that I just did a video about forgiveness.
The way that money was, not provided to children, and the money he made on the show was not evenly distributed, how the kids were basically working for free. He made his living for a long time on a network with reality television, with his children being his content.
Jim Bob's children being his content. Can we do a channel review of not 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whenever you may have it? Can we do a channel review and see what her content has been? Where did the videos go? Content.
They've lost that show, and he amassed a ton of wealth, and now apparently it's being squandered away. So InTouch says, despite squandering all the goodwill from his father...
She gonna read something from InTouch. Okay? She reading something from InTouch. Guess what I'm not gonna do? I ain't putting none of that in this video. You wanna know why? Go to InTouch and read it. I mean, if you really want to read what the story says, go to InTouch. It's their story, isn't it? Not that hard.
Father and mother, Michelle Duggar, the imprisoned former star, is still trying to manipulate his parents into giving him every last thing he can get out of them. Money in his commissary. Josh has been rescued by his folks so many times, and he probably thinks he deserves the finer things.
Josh has been rescued by his parents, and now he thinks he deserves pretty much deserves everything. He's entitled to everything. My words, not hers. Mine. She gonna keep talking about Josh.
The Jim Bob and Michelle are sick with worry, and Josh is guilting them even more into sending him cash so he can buy the luxuries that would otherwise be unavailable to him and live in style. Okay, so Josh wants money from his parents so that he can live, more than just the basic prison life. My words, like I said, but somebody in prison is wanting parents to give them money. I got stuff in my eye. Why do I do this to myself every night? Why do I do this to myself? I put way too much on my eyeballs, or my eyelids, or whatever you want to call it. And this happens every day and every night. I just keep doing it. Nobody said I was smart, okay? Nobody said I had common sense. Jim Bob and Michelle, when they had the money and the resources, had no problem doing whatever they could to make and placate Josh.
When you got the money, not a problem placating. If you had money, lots of it, would you mind spending it on your kids? Especially if one's in trouble? I wouldn't help my child if one of them was in for what Josh is in. But like I said, take him out of it. Completely out of it. Because I don't do the same thing as what she does. I'm not talking about the Duggars. I'm trying not to talk about the Duggars. I'm trying to just talk about basic life. Principles.
Jim Bob has done things for Josh that nobody else in the family has done, in my opinion. And for them to say that they are sick with worry, what are they worried about?
What are they worried about? The child's in prison. I don't know. What happens in prison? Why is there a reason to worry? I've seen enough of those cop shows. I've seen enough.
What is the worry here? Is the worry that, what, they're going to go broke?
It's the worry that they're going to go broke. But I thought the worry was Josh draining them. Right? I can't keep up with what the problem is. I can't keep up with what she's saying the issue is. I can't keep up. I'm not meant to keep up. That's why I'm doing this and asking y'all questions. Because I can't keep up. At least I don't lie.
What is the worry? They are sick with worry, and Josh is guilting them even more into sending him cash so he can buy luxuries and giving him money for commissary. Isn't that what is expected of family members, that when you're in prison, you would help out your loved one?
See? This story changed. Isn't that what is expected when somebody's in prison? Right? They're expected to pay. Right? They need money or they can't survive. Watched enough cop shows to just know just a little bit about a little bit, and that's all I need to know is a little bit.
Don't you help out those that are in prison by giving them money for their books?
I don't know. Do you know how much money they're giving him? Is it that big of an amount that we have to worry about it? That it's content? Is it that big of an amount?
So that they can purchase things in commissary? I mean, nobody's forcing them to.
Nobody's forcing them. And let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you. Before you go and you say anything about how I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm using this and I'm using that, look back at my channel and see who I talk to or about. Not to talk about. Haven't talked to her, don't need to talk to her, don't want to talk to her. That's why I haven't tried to resolve anything whenever it comes to her. My channel.
Give him money for commissary, and certainly no one forced them to help litigate this case or pay for attorneys, right?
Right. Nobody forced a parent to pay for their child's attorney. Even if they believe he's innocent, I guess. I don't know. Did they believe he was innocent? I don't know. I think Miss Katie would have to tell us whether or not they thought that he was innocent. Because I think some people thought he was innocent, right? She's the expert, not me.
I mean, Josh didn't have that much liquid assets of his own to afford the kind of defense he had.
Did you in any way expect for his parents to help him out because he didn't have assets to do it? Did you not expect that? Can it not be expected? Like I said, she's the Duggar know-it-all. I think, in my opinion, I think she knew that Jim Bob would try to help his son. My opinion.
I know that there was at some point a dispute between some of the other kids and Jim Bob about who was funding the defense.
Oops, I pressed the button. I'm just going to shortcut this, and I'm just going to click, click, click.
For Josh. It couldn't have been Josh, and Josh has now been incarcerated for 3 years, so that he's not making any money.
Josh has been incarcerated for 3 years, and I press the button. I need to really not press the button so many times because I get lost in editing. Do y'all know that? I do. I get lost in editing because I keep pressing the button when I shouldn't press the button. But Josh cannot afford things by himself because he's in prison.
And up until just this year, they were trying to fight this to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court wouldn't move forward with it, but who's really paying for that? I'm still wondering what they're worried about.
She's still wondering what they're worried about. I'm wondering why you worried about what they're worried about. I don't know. I ain't worried about it.
Now, apparently behind the wire fence, which again, I can't show you these photos,
I'm going to laugh every time she says that. Because I ain't showing you photos. I'm just going to laugh every time she says that, because you can just feel the animosity, can't you? I can.
they had been wearing special sunglasses. They can make special orders for sunglasses or sneakers. And that not only is he going around in sunglasses and pricey sneakers, but he's also shopping for bath supplies and expensive skin creams and books and magazines, candy, soda, and other comforts.
She's talking about all the things Josh is shopping for. That's what it is. All the things Josh is shopping for, and the things that he can afford, and what's offered extra. That's all it is.
His parents' money talks, and he can even get larger portions by greasing a few hands in the kitchen.
Greasing a few hands in the kitchen. Have you heard that before? I haven't heard that before. What does that mean? I think that means... I don't know what that means. I think we're about the same age, and I don't know. I love learning new things.
The other inmates don't have what he has, and it just makes Josh look smug and entitled.
Smug and entitled. Y'all, hold on a second. You're gonna see this thing stop. Okay, I'm gonna cut that out just a little bit, because guess what? I got a bladder. Guess what? I'm sharing too much. Sometimes that happens. All right, let's go.
It's no secret he's setting himself up for trouble from thieves and bullies who aren't going to take his showing off lying down.
Can I say it? The sun isn't taking what you're doing lying down neither, are they? They not. I'm sorry, I have to. I'm just gonna laugh and laugh and laugh. You wanna know why? Because that's what I do. I laugh.
All you ever do is run your mouth and laugh.
You hear my son? All I ever do is run my mouth and I laugh. Most of the time, me running my mouth ends up with me laughing. I do, right?
Clearly, he blames them and everybody else for his misfortune. So he has a ton of commissary. He has
Babe, I can't hear.
a lot of stuff in his commissary, and that's making other inmates pissed off. I'm still confused by this article.
She done said a bad word. That's a bad word. Don't say a bad word. I don't want a bad word on my channel. You may not think that that's a bad word, but yeah, making someone mad is different. All right? They making people mad. He's making people mad. Maybe. Don't know. Maybe.
They don't want to help Josh. They don't have to help Josh. If they don't want to pay for Josh, they don't have to pay for Josh. If they wanted to actually do the right thing and restore the relationships in their families and, make amends.
They don't have to help Josh. They don't have to do this. The family don't have to do that. It's just it's something about making amends, and then I paused it. I don't know.
With their daughters that have been victimized by Josh.
Oh, the daughters. They're the victims. Daughters of Jim Bob. Sorry. Let me try to keep this straight for you. Yeah. Kind of lost my own train of thought when I got up. And I ain't gonna rewind this neither to figure it out. We're gonna just go.
And actually, do some soul searching.
Did this woman just say do some soul searching? Guess what? Where's it at? I have it somewhere. I'm not going to blind y'all. Guess what this is? It's a mirror. I can look in it.
And recognize that, this byproduct of who Josh has become, he was created in a vacuum. He was created in this festering pot of the IBLP.
Created in a vacuum. And something about, yeah, y'all heard it. Someone else stays in their house all the time, right? And it says they stay in the house all the time. Someone else says that they order stuff in. Someone else has excuses for the bubble they put themselves in. I don't know. Could it be the person I'm talking about?
along with the reality television show that gave this family a lot of power and influence.
That television show also gave you a lot of content, didn't it? I think it did. And then, you're kind of my content. So, I guess it, what rolls down, what travel down. You know what goes down that hill.
And they made millions of dollars. I mean, I think Jill said in her book, she estimated her dad made over $18 million, maybe.
Let me say a figure of an amount or whatever, and then say maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Could be true. Maybe, though. It might have happened.
Could be totally off there, so don't quote me. But it was tens of...
Never quote me. Don't do it. Because all this is entertainment for you, hopefully. That's what I try to do. I try to entertain y'all. I just having fun. That's all I'm doing.
There was a lot. There was a lot of money that was made. Now, they have a lot of kids. They do. They have
They got a lot of kids. I would say they have a lot of kids because that's what the television show said. They gave it an amount.
19 kids, and they also have like 30-some grandchildren. The money doesn't go far, but he's not certainly sharing that money evenly with the kids. If he doesn't have the money anymore, where did it go?
She's talking about Jim Bob's money. That's what she's doing. Where'd the money go? Talking about the kids. Talking about the number of grandkids. I don't understand what her problem is with numbers and what her problem is with kids and how many kids you got. I don't understand that. I don't know. It's none of my business.
Beyond the only expense I can think of that would have put a lot of financial burden on him would have been the trial and the case and the defense that...
Did y'all hear them three things that could put a lot of stress and all that on Mr. Jim Bob's money? Did you hear all them? I'd say so. I'd say that would stress anybody's pocket up. Well, no.
Josh's case was so solid that they had so much evidence against him. They wasted so much money when he could have just taken a plea deal and gone to prison and served his time.
Jim Bob wasted money. Josh should have just taken a plea deal and went to prison. See, I can do this faster than she can when I'm not running my mouth.
I always get so weirded out by these kinds of articles.
She always gets weirded out about these kinds of articles. What about her own content? What about her sources? What about all that? Why is it just, she's weirded out about one article, an article, right? Whenever you say an. I know an is supposed to be correctly. But is it one single article that weirds her out? Or is it just generic?
And now the way that it's being with these new photos coming out of Anna and this new round of articles about...
This? Pictures? Where's pictures? If I don't see it with my own eyes, it didn't happen. Where's pictures?
The Duggars, it makes me feel like there's someone behind this.
Makes you feel? Makes you feel? Miss KT, you make me feel a certain way on certain days. And yes, I'm going to talk about what she did in my channel over and over and over and over again. Because you know what? She's allowed her feelings, I'm allowed mine.
You know, like Jim Bob loves attention and he loves keeping his family relevant. So
somebody else that I talk about loves attention too. But they also like taking care of their family. So that's why I don't dig in their pocketbook.
Is this the work of him or people around him? I don't know.
How many times in this woman, how many times in our videos do you hear, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
But it certainly wouldn't surprise me if it was, because in this article, it's trying to portray Jim Bob as a victim of Josh.
This article, the way I'm hearing this, is she ain't happy about this. And she's going to go against this. Why? Because she has her own opinion, and so do I.
And that's something I really can't get on board with.
I can't get on board with you giving me a strike, but you did it, didn't you? Mm-hmm, you did it.
Don't view Jim Bob as a victim of Josh.
I don't view you as a victim of the sun.
I've often viewed them as co-conspirators. Like,
I often, I don't listen to you or see you as a co-anything because you're the one that says we, but I don't know who we are. I don't think I've ever known who we are. You?
two people that are both equally damaged and have caused a lot of damage.
Two people equally damaged and caused a lot of damage. Does this woman describe herself or does this woman describe herself? Entertainment only.
To this family. And yes, Jim Bob loves his son, but he's loved his son at the detriment of all others, in my opinion.
Jim Bob loves his son. And a couple of other words through there. But it's in her opinion.
And if Josh is trying to manipulate his cash-strapped parents, who does Jim Bob have to blame for where he's found himself today, right? Like, who does he have to blame?
Who does Jim Bob have to blame? You know, you can blame a lot of people in this situation. But I think it's funny how you're going after Jim Bob when the name you usually like to say is Josh. But you know what? I'm kind of glad I'm not hearing Josh. Even though she's, in my opinion, she's slowly saying it behind the scenes, talking about Jim Bob's son. So either way, she's still saying Josh.
No one but himself, in my opinion. And if he wasn't responsible with the money and he hasn't found new resources and ways to make money.
She's talking about somebody's money and them needing to find a way to make money, pretty much my words. She's been talking about money. I get tired of that. I get tired of hearing about somebody else's money. Stay out of people's pocketbooks. Just stay out of their pockets altogether. Just don't do it. You pay attention to your own pockets, especially when you're taking down videos because you're getting yourself in trouble. Like I said, how much came out of your pocket whenever all them views went away? How many more potential views were there? Things happen. I don't know, you tell me. I'm just a small little channel here. That's all I am. She wants to silence me. I mean, sounds like she's being silenced too, just a little bit. I tell you something. Katie will be Katie. That's all I gotta say. Miss Katie will be Miss Katie, and there's nothing we can do.
That was comparable to what he was making on the show. That's on him. There's no reason.
You've gotten a strike, and that's on you. Sucks to hear that, don't it? It does. It sucks to hear that.
Reason why he can't still be making money. He's not old enough to retire. He can still.
You're not old enough to retire either. I'm not old enough to retire, even though I don't do nothing besides run my mouth.
He has still years that he could be out there working. I don't know. And it's not like he's spending tons of money to like take care of Anna and the kids because they're living in a warehouse that the Duggars don't have a mortgage on.
Why you always got to talk about Anna and where she lives? Why you got to be talking about Anna's kids? Why you got to do that? Leave her out of this. This ain't got nothing to do with Anna. But somehow or another, you like to always try to wiggle her in, don't you? Shame, shame, shame.
So it's not like she's occupying a space that costs them money of any kind.
Why is it about money with you? Money, 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 money. Just leave it alone. Stay out of people's pocketbooks.
I don't know.
Don't you huff and puff at me. I ain't doing nothing. I'm listening to you jab on just like I do. You huff and puff. You ain't no dog, are you? No, I don't think so. Dogs are the ones that ruff and huff and puff.
But what are your thoughts? Is Josh cash strapping his parents?
What are y'all's thoughts? I think we know Miss Katie's thoughts. Really do. I think we know all about her thoughts. I think she's mad. I think she's mad that she can't show the photos. I think she's mad. I used to be nice to this woman. I used to give this woman the benefit of the doubt. See where I'm at now? See where I'm at? Her husband done said that she's a good person. See where I'm at? See, I can make sounds like that. Y'all can make sounds like that too if you really wanted to. You could. I just kind of open my mouth and crap comes out. Sometimes literally, I guess. Maybe. I don't know, okay? I just don't know. At least I'm honest about it, and I don't try to make content saying that I do know.
And what are they actually worried about? What's the sick with worry?
What are they actually worried about? I don't know. What are you worried about? What are you worried about if you use somebody else's pictures? What are you worried about if you use somebody else's story? What are you worried about? You're always worrying about other people, right? And what other people are worrying about. You always make content on what's happening with other people. I don't worry about you, even though I make content on you. I don't worry. I'll let you live your life. I'll let you do you. I think that's what we're all supposed to do, right? Besides me, okay? Let me tell you something. We're going to shut this because I don't want to look at it no more. I don't want to think about it. Let me just say this. She can do her own content, and I can do mine. And mine is more to entertain you, and mine is more for you just to have somebody to listen to sometimes. It's not that you always agree with me. It's not. But if there's one thing I can do, I hope I put a smile on your face occasionally. That's one thing I hope. And I hope that I lift your spirits sometimes. Because that's what needs to happen on certain days. So, yeah, Miss KT may be content for me, but it's more about entertainment for you. So before I get any more of them nasty comments, I'm actually saying, I'm just entertaining y'all. Y'all are choosing to watch. Am I entertaining y'all? Do I entertain you? I'm not for sure sometimes. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna think. I'm gonna use my noggin, and I'm gonna say that I entertain you. If I don't, I'm sorry. I'm just Janet being Janet. That's all I can be. Alright guys, y'all know the way this goes. I hope you have a good day, night, weekend, holiday, year, whenever you might be watching this, and you smile, or make somebody else smile. It's holiday season. You can do it. It's not hard. Just smile when you say hi. Smile when you walk by. Just smile, and it can make a big, huge change in somebody else's life, and it may make a change in yours. Y'all remember that. Okay, I'm done lecturing y'all like y'all are my kids. My kid is like over here ready for me to quit mouthing and quit with my jaws dropping because he's tired of being quiet. He started playing a game and listening to me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go edit this. I'm going to visit it. Listen to me. I'm going to go edit this, and then I am going to hopefully one day get it uploaded, because sometimes to uploading, it's taken me 2 or 3 days, and I don't know why. Yeah, I do. I messed up my computer. It didn't mess itself up. I messed it up, and sometimes the internet is a problem, okay, because of me. Alright, guys. I hope you have a good one, and hopefully I'll see you before the holiday. Bye!